Oh, that's kind of nice. I like that. I could sit here joggling away all day. Welcome to Charleston for our first full day in this glorious city. This here is a custom house. That over there is the city market, which is another famous point, and we're going to go and have a wee look around. Tech is already suffering with the heat a little bit.
Yes. Wow, can't breathe.
Definitely need like hats and stuff just to keep the sun off my neck and my head. I've got sun cream on, a lot of it, but even that I don't think is going to be sufficient on its own. Alright, this is a starter that everybody recommended here. In the south in general, it is fried green tomatoes, and like a salad stuff. I don't care much for sweet corn, so I might pick that off. Crab meat, it's impossible to avoid the sweet corn, I think.
Hot. Told you it was hot.
It's really nice. Mixed with the seafood. Shrimps or prawn, shrimp, crab. There's a lot of different flavours. It's a tomato that's hot. I think the beauty of this dish for me is the fact that the tomatoes on their own, without anything else, are just so sweet. I think I've never had a tomato that sweet before. They're delicious. Oh yeah. That's good.
Crab cake.
This is Tekka's crab meat sandwich, which is kindly offered to me to have a bite of, or first bite. Is this crab meat on a sandwich?
Yeah.
It's like a hamburger of crab meat. See that there? Juicy crab all the way around that. And that. It's very savoury. Well, that was good. Henry's, one of the oldest restaurants in Charleston. Not bad food. It's kind of like pub grub, but the pub grub here in America is much better than in Scotland, that's for sure. Now I know there are going to be a lot of people watching saying, ah, you didn't have the shrimp and grits, what are you doing? Why didn't you have the shrimp and grits? Well, let me tell you, we are going out to a place tonight, a fancy place, that is known for its shrimp and grits and is known for its she crab soup, whatever the heck that is. And so I thought I would save myself till we get there to eat those things and not eat them in a place like Henry's. There's some big dark clouds there behind us, looks like it's going to rain. I thought that was going to happen. Luckily we found some shelter under this veranda of this building here. It is hammering down. Wow, so what do you do to a place that's hot to make it even less comfortable? A good 20-minute rainstorm, that will make the humidity nice and comfortable. We did try and escape the rain inside the market there for a while, but what I do not get is the fact that it's now really sunny and it's still pouring rain. You can tell that Charleston is a wealthy place, not just the fact that people who live here are probably quite wealthy, but also the tourists that visit as well. It's the type of shops they have here, like this street, just at the end of the market, it's got like a massive Gucci, remember the biggest Gucci's I've seen ever, and lots of other big brand name shops as well. We're now walking down the south, I think, the south of Broad Street. Broad Street is a kind of big main thoroughfare over there. And there's so many like old style classical houses, like this one behind me here. You can just tell that that's been there for a very long time. Some of them have got plaques on them, probably explaining their historical significance. Others have got like these amazing botanical gardens like that one there. And a lot of them have these kind of nice gardens with water features in them as well. I said this before in the previous video, but this town is absolutely beautiful. Probably the most beautiful city I have been in the United States, anywhere, so far. It's gorgeous. Just look, and some of the gardens are just so well kept as well. Check these houses out. Look at that. I spoke to a lot of folks from the United States who come to Scotland and say, oh, we don't have any history in the United States, that's why I like to come to Scotland. But you know, fair enough, we've got a lot of amazing history in Scotland, but the truth is you actually do have a lot of really cool history in the United States as well. And I think Charleston is living, breathing proof of that. This place is bricks and mortar proof of history that you have in the States. And it's rich and it's diverse and it's interesting. Some of it might not always be pretty. Some of it might even be quite violent. But there's history here, definitely. Wow, look at this. It's a big pink house. One along there. I think one of my biggest tips for people when they come here to Charleston is going to be just get out and walk around the town. The historic district. It's so pretty and well worth coming around to explore some of the different streets. We don't really know where we're going, we're just walking. As long as you're well hydrated and got some water, preferably with lots of ice in it, we'll be doing alright. Let's see how my Brazilian counterpart's doing.
Grumpy.
I absolutely love the houses. I've got these big porches with the fans on the top. That is just amazing. I love that. It's so unique and southern, right? And this house here, it's like the bloody White House. Enormous. Very cool. This is exactly why I say walking around is pretty good. This one here is a house that was built by a man who I don't know. Miles Bruton. Miles Bruton, he was a revolutionary patriot. And this house is an it says here on this plaque, I'm reading off this plaque. Outstanding example of Georgian architecture in America, built between 1765 and 1769. It says it was a British headquarters between 1780 and 1782, but it remained in the family. It was inherited in 1775 by Bruton's sister, and it remained in the family ever since. There you go, cool story. Quite heavily fortified though. Wow, look at that. Right next to the water here, I think it's called Battery Park, or Battery Point. There's all these trees in this park here. It's amazing, look at this place. Let's take a video here. love this park so much. These trees. I want to be here when the cicada cacophony turns itself on. The sunset. So cool to be in a place like Charleston where there was so much history involving people from my side of the pond, Great Britain, the United Kingdom, and their exploits to try and conquer and keep hold of these lands. But obviously that all changed. But this place has been involved in a number of things, including the Civil War as well, and it's really cool to be here in a place that holds such importance. And it's just generally beautiful as well. Trying my best to angle my hat so the sun doesn't burn me. I'm like a pig on a spit roast, rotating it around so it like just evenly shades my face. Anyway, the similarities between Charleston and Edinburgh, there are quite a few of them. For example, ghost tours that go underground. They have them here and we're actually going on one of those tours. But I've just found out it was actually a walled city. This plaque explains more about it and the timeline and all that. I'm not going to stay here and read all that. I'm going to take a photo of it. I'm going to read it in the hotel because I need to get back in air conditioning pretty soon. But, and this is somebody that did actually tell me about this, I do recall now, one of the viewers who gave me some tips about where to go, said there's actually a little bit of the wall remaining, and here it is right here. And I feel so bold and the need to touch it, actually. A historic piece of the wall of the old walled city of Charleston, the only bit that's remaining. So that's kind of cool. And Edinburgh, my hometown, was also a walled city. And there are parts of the wall left, but they're also like an outline of where the wall used to be. So, yeah. Lots of history for you.
Edward Crisp. Shows Wall, Charlestown.
Charleston.
It's Charlestown.
Charlestown. It is actually, yeah, it says Charlestown. It was back then it was called Charlestown. For King Charles, the English. What date was it? The 1730s?
1711.
1711. That's old. That is the real hit. Like, I'm telling you guys, people don't believe me, but there's lots of really genuine, interesting and early history here. Not early history, but history goes back quite a long time. And it's cool and it's interesting. So when anyone from the States comes to here, or comes to Scotland and tells me that there's no history here, I'll tell them, go to Charleston. Similarly, if anybody from Europe or Scotland or England or wherever says, oh, America's got no history, well, I'll tell them to go to Charleston as well. Yeah. And here behind us is the famous Rainbow Row houses, going all the way down the street here. Basically, all these old historic houses are painted different colours. We've got places like that in Scotland as well, and they're really cool. I love showing them to tourists because they're pretty. Tobermory and the Isle of Mull, for example. But anyway, here in Charleston, this Rainbow Row is famous. The one thing I will say, like most of Charleston, there's a lot of trees everywhere, which is great, and you need that to keep the place cool as well. And also, trees around the city just make this place, just give this place the character that it's got. It's gorgeous. This part of the Rainbow Row has slightly less trees, so you can see it better. Very pretty street, and you can totally see why everybody comes here to take photos. Very, very beautiful. We have discovered a new toy. This is something that is classical from Charleston, and I saw a plaque about this earlier on, but I didn't actually see the thing. But now we see the thing, and it's this wooden chair behind us here. It's got a particular name. There it is. It's basically just a rocking chair made out of wood, with a flat bit of wood and then two rockers, kind of like a rocking chair.
A sideways rocking
Sideways rocking chair. I want to sit on this thing. I hope I don't break this thing. That would be terrible. It's like a historic landmark in Charleston. I don't want to break it. Can take my weight. Oh, it's quite a solid bit of wood actually. Oh, that's kind of nice. I like that. I could sit here joggling away all day. I suppose you're not supposed to push it too far. But it's quite relaxing. Imagine if you're laid out here lying down, it's like a hammock.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. Ooh. Wanna try it?
Yeah. It's like a rocking chair.
Yeah.
Sideways.
Thing is, when you come to the south, many cities in the south, but especially here in Charleston, you have to pay attention to things like this. The building next to us is the old exchange, and this was one of the most prominent places in all of the city for trading not only goods but also people. And so as I'm traveling through here and enjoying this beautiful historic city, I think it's just really important to mention that and to notice it, pay attention to it, because what that means is this whole city, not just the city, but many places, many of these historic sites, you know, they were places where humans were traded, bought and sold. An awful part in our history, and I think something that we just need to all be aware of when we're walking around places like this. This beautiful, beautiful city as it is, has a dark history. We were walking around the city today and seeing some of these amazing historic cities they've got in the old part of the town here. We've just passed the real estate agent here, and some of these big, fantastic, amazing houses are listed. I did wonder how much some of them would cost, and it says up here 5 million, 6 million. There's one that needs hefty reform and it basically looks like a shell that's 4 million. Bargain. So yeah, they ain't cheap. Oh my god. I tell you what.
You're wet.
I'm wet and I'm red. Oh my god, I need to have a shower, but to my point. When you oh my god, I look like a tomato. When you explore a few hours in the city, in a place like this, in the summer, in August like we are, it's good to come back into the air conditioning regularly, have a break, have a shower, get in the air conditioning and drink some water. That's what we're doing. You can't stay there for too long. I think we probably stayed out there too long, more than we should have, to be absolutely honest with you, and I'm suffering the consequences. So I'm gonna go and chill out in the air conditioning bedroom, have a shower, and try and make myself feel more human again. Wow.